Hi, this is Greg Moore. I'm the developer of iPregnancy. I want to give you a quick run through of how this program works. Let's start this up here by clicking on iPregnancy. You're going to be presented with a brief splash screen there that shows you the website address in case you need to contact me with any program suggestions or bug reports. Please feel free. What you're going to be presented with when you first start is the Today screen. There are 5 screens that you'll be able to see here, 5 tabs: Today, Pictures, Baby Info, Names, and Settings. What you would do when you first start the program is you'll be putting in your due date. Click on this icon in the upper right hand corner, and you'll be able to enter your due date by any of 4 of the typical methods, which would be last period, conception, ultrasound date, which will allow you to enter your ultrasound date and the gestational age you were when the ultrasound was done. You need to obtain this information from your doctor, or you can enter actually from the due date if that's all you know. Most people would be entering from the last period. Let's pick a random last menstrual period here. This is the first day of your last period. It's important, not the final day, but the first day. And you can see this calculates your due date for you, which is on a Wednesday in this particular case, and you are going to be 23 and 4/7 weeks according to that last menstrual period. So we'll push save, and that will save the information, which will be retrieved every time the program starts. And it will show you your current number of weeks and days. This is called the gestational age. It's really, in actuality, a menstrual age, and that means that you're counting from the first day of your last period, which is a bit misleading to some degree because the baby isn't really 23 weeks along. It's more like 21 weeks and 4 days, but you're adding in 2 weeks prior to conception, and that is the obstetric standard. And since you're going to want to follow along with your doctor and healthcare provider, we want to give you the same exact information the doctor or healthcare provider will use. When you're discussing your current gestational age with friends, usually you'll want to use the number of months that you are, and so I've included the number of lunar months. And lunar months obviously are 4 weeks in a month, 28 days per month. So in this case, it would be 5 3/4 months. There's also a progress bar that shows you your approximate stage in pregnancy here, the current trimester you're in, the number of weeks and days remaining until your due date, and the date of the next milestone. Now there is an alternate view here available by clicking this button in the upper left-hand corner, which will show you the same information in days, and also I included an approximate percentage that you are through the pregnancy. Now that would be a percentage from 0 to 40 weeks. This second line here is a 40-week mark, which is your due date. Realize it's possible to go past your due date and be normal. And the second line of interest here is this 37-week mark, which is typically where you first are considered to be full term. This will tell you again the days remaining and the number of days till your next major milestone. The next thing I included was a picture, and you can obtain that by clicking on the Pictures tab here. We can see in this case a picture of a baby at 23 weeks, very cute baby. You can scroll through weeks by using left and right swipe gestures. Kind of fun to see some different pictures at different gestational ages. Next, you'll see the baby info screen where you'll be able to tell the number of weeks you are again, the length and weight of the baby, and the 10th and 90th percentile ranges from very small to very large baby. These you can change through the number of weeks by clicking on this little slider bar here. You can always return to your current position by clicking on the button that appears there. You can also do a swipe motion here to change the number of weeks if you want to. Here's some information about the baby, very basic cursory information, but interesting nonetheless. And the approximate survival rate should the baby be born at this, in this case, very horribly premature state, God forbid. Finally, there is a name section. I know when we were having children, our biggest problem was trying to pick out a name for the baby, and we usually came up with several contenders before we arrived at a final decision. In this case, you can see there's no name selected on either the boy or the girl, but I'll show you how you will select him. Click on this little plus button right here, and you have 2 choices. You can select from the name picker. We'll start with that first. This basically will show you the top 1,000 names based on Social Security Administration's information for requests for Social Security cards for the last year, and this is 2007 data in this example. And I will update this with more data in the future. as that becomes available, but basically you can scroll through the names this way. You are able to sort by name descending, popularity descending, if you want to do that. Or you can limit names to names starting with a particular letter here. It shows you basically how many names there are. In this case, there's 31 names beginning with T. Now, to pick a name, you would scroll through and decide that you like Tierra, let's say. And we're going to add this to our list of contenders. So we'll click on this right here. And you have the choice of either adding to the top or bottom of the list. We'll add to the top. And you can see once you select a name, it will show up in red, so you always know which ones you've already got on your list. And you don't have the choice of adding it again anyway. There's also a neat feature that allows you to shake the iPhone for a random choice. I also put a button in case you don't feel like shaking your phone around and knocking your husband in the head when you do this. But click on the shake button and you'll get a random name. Let's go back to the all and click on that again. And let's say we like Maggie. We're going to add her to the top. I like that better. And so you can just keep adding names on here as many as you want. Okay, and then we click done when we're done, but there's also boy names, which you can pick from there. You can see we have several contenders here. These are easy to delete if you want to. Let's say we really decide we didn't like Tierra. We can swipe on there and hit delete. We can also move names here around. Okay, so if you want to rearrange your list, you can do that. Pretty neat there. Finally, there is a settings tab, and this would allow you to change also the gender. In this case, if you want to pick boy, you can pick boy, and this will change the color of the screen. Or girl. You can see there's different colors basically depending on the gender. If you don't want to see the name popularity on there, you can turn that off. You can also use metric units, which will show you metric units on these weights here. Now notice I did not include metric units in the text of this, but you can still see the length and the weight in metric units if you desire. And then if you decide you don't like the sounds that I put on here, you can turn those off too. And these settings will be retained from session to session. So this is a basic run-through of the program, and I hope you like it. And if you have any suggestions for changes, please be sure to let me know. Thanks a lot.